What is up, guys? And today I'm going to be commentating a battle between AsianSensation and Say No to Bloons. So AsianSensation's real name is Josh and Say No to Bloons is Jim. So I'm going to be calling them by their real name, so just remember that. And we're going to kick off the game right now. They're going to both start off with farms, of course, and they're going to get their 1-0 Dart Monkeys, it looks like. So right now they're playing pretty similar strats, and before we start talking really about the game, I just want to say these both players are really good, so you guys should be expecting a really good series here today. So back to the game. It looks like Josh is going to be sending the first couple balloons to Jim, and he does not get any lives because of the tax at the end of the track at Jim's side. So it looks like Josh is still going farms, so he is ahead of Jim in farm eco right now by a whole 1-0 farm. So he does have a good advantage. But anyway, it looks like they both have their 3-0 Turbo Darts monkeys up now, and the question is now, are either of them gonna, yes, and Josh decides to go pinks. So this is gonna force Jim to use Battle Energy, and there he goes, so he's gonna be fine for now. And he decides to send Josh back pinks, so that will force Josh to use Battle Energy. And Josh actually does not get up another 3-0 Dart Monkey. He usually just gets up some 0-0 Dart Monkeys, and honestly I think the 3-0 is better because the 2-2 ones only pop the pinks to yellow, as you can see, and the yellow still leaks, so I think it's better just to get one more 3-0 Dart Monkey. But anyway, farm eco, it looks like Asian is still ahead in farm eco by a little bit, and it looks like Jim is going for the 2-0s instead of spamming some 1-0 farms. Honestly, I do not know which way is better for eco, but it looks like it's working out for both of them. So yeah, Josh has 4 farms already, but they are all 1-0, and Jim has 3 farms, so it looks like Jim's actually now, so he was basically ahead for a millisecond there, and then Josh went ahead to take back the lead. So right now Josh has more money built into his defense, but that does not really matter because he does also have more farms, so he will be getting more money. But anyway, this round 7 is actually a pretty dangerous round to send greens and pinks layered because of all the natural AI balloons coming out on round 7. It's just a good round to send and get some life on your opponent. But it looks like Josh already has done some damage to Jim, and it looks like he's going for some yellows. Is that going to do anything? And no, Jim's going to react by getting a triple darts, but it's still going to do a good amount of damage to Jim. So Jim right now has to rush. He lost a good amount of life, so if Josh just stays in the lead, does good in his farm eco, he will be set for this game. But it looks like Jim's using his battle energy, his balloon boost thing, and he goes for some yellows, which look like they're doing a really good amount of damage on Josh. And Josh decides to use battle energy instead, but he did use the battle energy right on round 10, so that means that he might not have it for round 13 if it doesn't come back fast enough. So Jim could keep that in mind, but I don't think he will in the rush because it is kind of risky. But it looks like Josh is gonna still be in the lead for farms, and Jim is going to be behind just by a little bit. So Josh and Jim both have pretty equal defenses, and both have both juggernauts, so they're going to be fine against regrow zebras or fake rush like that. So looks like he did sell some stuff for that next 2-0 farm. Jim did that, and now it's becoming a little bit okay, there we go. Now it's becoming a little bit better. It's becoming a little bit more late game, so it's gonna get a lot more intense. Round 14, Josh already has his 3-0 farm, and Jim's about to get it up. So yeah, this is kind of dumb, but obviously there's not going to be any ceramics because they already have juggernauts, so ceramics are not going to come out. If they do, that's just a waste of money. But I think Josh will probably be able to afford the 4-0 farm if he sells his 2-0 farms in this next round. So let's just see what he does. And no, it doesn't look like he can afford it yet. So he's just going to go ahead and wait till round 15 to end. And there he goes. He's selling his farms now. So round 15 coming soon. And Josh is going to get up that 4-0 farm as well as Jim. So Jim waiting till the end of the round to sell his farms a lot quicker, which is a pretty good idea. So good idea on Jim's part. And now they're pretty much equal on Farmigo. As you can see, Jim does have a lot of money saved up right now, and decides just to get up some more defenses and get that farm up. So Jim going for the 3-0 farm instead of 2 3-0 farms or 2 2-0 farms, which is it works out for him, I guess. And it looks like Josh is sending a little teaser rush, which is not going to do anything to Jim. So Jim going for a Moab and using the Bloon boost. I think that was a little bit too early. If used that a little later, it might have been more effective, but he still was able to get the Bloon boost on it. So Josh has the ice tower, so he goes ahead and uses that ice ability. And if you guys didn't know, a little fun fact, the ice ability does slow the Moabs as slow as the ninja ability would. So that's something to keep in mind. If you get the ice tower in the mystery, it's the same thing as a ninja, like ability wise. But anyway, he uses battle energy. Jim's gonna go ahead and send him another one, and he does use the ice ability again, but he looks like he's leaking, and he's using it again. So is he gonna? Yes, he's gonna be leaking. Is he gonna get under 82 lives? And he is. He's gonna go all the. Whoa, is he gonna die here? Okay, so he went all the way down to 35 lives. So that means now Josh is gonna be the one required to rush. So Jim did a great job there sending those Moabs. He did it just right, and that caused him to get the lead in lives. So right now the game is pretty intense. They're probably both going to get their 4-0 farms up this next upcoming round. And no, they both decide to get it before the round starts. So the reason I said earlier is because that they're going to get on the upcoming rounds is because you get more money. I don't know why, but with the 4-0 farms, you get more money when you upgrade it when it's the next round. It's something to do with the AI or whatever, but they just decided to get it early because they did not want to wait. So, looks like Josh is going for a BFB. Let's see what Jim's going to do about it. He's probably just going to get the Super Monkey Fan Club and be fine with it, but Josh always has the opportunity to re-rush if he does use battle energy. And let's just see what happens here. So, Jim, there he goes. He gets up the Super Monkey Fan Club, almost showing his ace, but he decides not to, and he has to use that battle energy there. He's going to go no lives lost here. And yes, he does go no lives lost. It looks like he leaked a little bit there, but I guess he didn't. So, looking pretty good for Jim right now. Josh can always go for a re-rush, which probably wouldn't do much since Jim can just sell that Super Monkey Fan Club and get it back. So, Josh just decides to keep farming, and it looks like they're both pretty equal. And no! Jim sells the Super Monkey Fan Club for the next 4-0 farm, so now he is ahead of Josh in Farmigo. So that was a pretty nice move by Jim, and that's going to put him ahead in Farmigo. So Josh here is probably going to get up his next farm soon. Yeah, there he goes. And looks like he's going to be waiting for the next round, so smart idea. And yeah, so Jim already going for the next farm. And looks like he's looking on sending possibly a ZOMG, but I don't know about it. And he goes for the 3-0 farm instead, so let's see what Jim does here. Oh, and it looks like he goes for 3 fast corner mobs, I think it was 3. And Josh usually goes ace on this map, so he's probably just going to use that ace ability, or maybe even that ice ability again and get the Super Monkey Fan Club. So there go the BFBs. Let's just see what Josh does here. And yes, he does put down the ice tower, so it looks like he is going to be going for the ice ability. And getting pretty far on the screen, the BFBs already, so he might have to use the ace if he does have the ace, which I'm pretty sure he does. So there he goes, he uses battle energy and the Super Monkey Fan Club. And it looks like, yes, he's going to have to use ace, and it looks like he's going to die here, but no, he's not losing any lives. And he's still not leaking at all. And there he goes, he gets the ace, and he uses that ground zero. So over on Jim's side, he almost died there. He had to use the battle energy, but it looks like Josh defended that fast gold on BF Blue Rush just perfectly. But now Jim knows he has the ace, which is probably what he expected. But anyway, Josh going for another BFB, and Jim deciding to keep his Super Monkey. No, he's still the Super Monkey. He's probably going to get up the Fan Glove and defend this rush pretty easily. Looks like he's going to have to use a battle energy. Yes, he's going to have to use a battle energy there, but he does go no lives lost again. And he gets up that next 4-0 farm just a little bit before the round, so it looks like Jim took the lead in Farm Eco, which is pretty good for him. And Josh having 4 farms, which is not bad. But he does have to consider that round 37 is the end, and Josh does have to rush, so he probably should get ahead of Jim in Farm Eco so he can have more money. But he also has to keep in mind that if Jim gets too greedy, then he is obviously going to be able to defend his rushes pretty easily. So Jim going for the Plasma Rifle, which is still not enough to get these Moabs. And that just shows you how weak the Super Monkeys are on mobile. Only temples are good. But anyway, Josh is going for a ZOMG. Let's see what Jim does here. It looks like he's going for 2 Super Monkey Fan Clubs. And 3 Super Monkey Fan Clubs. And he's probably going... Yes, and he hits the battle energy. And Josh going for another one. So here's Josh Rush, I think. And Jim selling some farms, getting up 2 ground zeros. And defends that first ZOMG pretty easily. But he has to worry about these next couple coming. And Jim decides to go for 5 ZOMGs right back at Josh. So let's see if Jim's going to be able to defend these, and let's see if he's able to beat Josh before they beat Jim. So Jim barely having enough for them, and he has to sell again, and it looks like the Bloons are getting by, and yes. So good first game there. Jim does take that in the bag. So it is 1-0. Josh is winning. So heading into the next game, we got Hydro Dam. And right now, they are... Jim is going for the Sub-Dart farm. And he did get the boat in his mystery tower, which is extremely good. Well, not extremely good, but it is a really nice mystery tower to have because it has the ability to easily kill BFBs in one, in the ability or whatever you want to call it. So the boat is a very good tower to have on any water map. It's a one-shot kill for BFBs. But yeah. Anyway, Josh going ahead and upgrading twin guns automatically and sending some blues at Jim. So Jim's going to be forced to get up the airbus darts. And yeah, so there he goes. He gets up the airbus darts. Josh still did not get up the airbus darts. Is he going to go for this? Oh no, he does not go for the second farm. He probably could have went for the second farm. That probably would have been a good idea to go for the second farm, but he decides to just play it safe. So they're both going to be safe till about round 6. Greens can do some damage, but it would have to be a lot of greens. So no guaranteed damage until round 8. But, or round 7 because he can layer greens and pinks. But anyway, right now, Josh going for the 1-0, 2 1-0s, and Jim again going for the 2-0 farm. So, looks like right now Jim is ahead in Farm Eco. And Josh is getting his third one. So, I honestly think on this map I would probably go lean more towards the 2-0 this time because it is a smaller map. So if you have less farms, then that means it's gonna be easier to sell and defend the rushes. So yeah, right now Josh is going for some greens and pinks. So this is the exact rush I was talking about earlier that can be very deadly if you do not have more than 1 arrow starts, or if you do not hit that battle energy. So, since Josh made Jim use his battle energy, he's probably going to consider a re-rush, and there it is. So, I'm assuming Jim's going to get this Spike of Hope, or maybe even Juggernaut up right now. And looks like he's going for just for the spike ball, and that is doing just fine against the greens. So nice buying from Jim, and that leaves Jim to have advantage over the Farmigo. So Josh might go for a yellow rush since Jim does have his battle energy back, but Josh might consider going for the yellow rush, and Jim is ahead in Farmigo, so that is an advantage. And now looks like Jim is getting up his Dart Monkeys, and Josh going for the 3 Dart Monkeys as well, and a second submarine. So interesting play by Josh. It looks like Jim actually was able to fit the 4 farms on Hydro Dam, which is not extremely hard on that side of the map, but it is actually, I've never seen anyone, so I'm gonna say it's impossible, but it is impossible on Josh's side of the map, which is AsianSensation. So yeah, I've never seen anyone fit 4 farms there, but on Jim's side it is possible. But anyway, they're both getting up the 2 submarines, and it looks like Jim is going to be getting all 3 Juggernauts. So he's trying to be extra safe on Hydro Dam by getting all 3 of them, and he's sending a little teaser rush. He's sending 3 Ruger Rainbows, which shouldn't do much damage. Oh, whoa. But it looks like it does do actually a good amount of damage. But now Jim going for them Camo Zebras, and they're actually mixed in with the yellows perfectly where Josh cannot see them in time, and that is going to end up killing him. So yes, very strategic and nice play there. So now onto the last battle. We have 1-1. So whoever wins this battle is going to win the bottom battle of the mobile series. So let's just see who wins. And Josh still alright, so he was lagging a little bit. He gets 2 places, 1-0 farm, and so does Jim. So they're equal right now, and it looks like they're probably gonna both go for their second farms. I'm expecting Jim to go for the 2-0 farm, but they're both using, or Jim is using his 2 spikes right off the bat, and Jim this time actually decides to go for the 1-0 farms instead of the 2-0. So yeah, right now both players being pretty greedy, neither player exploiting, but let's just see about round 4. So looks like Jim's going for the triple darts, and Josh still on 1-0 on the Dart Monkey, so he may be going for another farm, which would put him ahead in Farmigo. And yes, he goes for the 3rd farm, and Jim being very smart, and what he does is he waits till Josh, he's waiting for Josh to buy the farm so that he'll have no money left, and then he sends the pink. So that is a very smart play by Jim, but it does look like Jim was forced to use battle energy by Josh, and now he is sending back Josh Bloon boosted pink, so this is probably going to do some damage. And there we go, he's doing a good amount of damage to Josh. So right now Jim is in the lead. All he has to do is defend, and right now he's easily defeating these pinks with the 2 triple darts, as you can see. But Josh is ahead in Farmigo by a whole 1-0 farm. So that is a good advantage, and he gets a 4th farm. So yeah, he's definitely ahead of Farmigo. But is SN2B Bloons going to send him some greens, because that would do a lot of damage to him. And Josh is going for some pinks, maybe to distract. I do not think he's going for the pinks and purposely or for damage. But anyway, now he's sending blacks. So blacks are kind of bad because they're slow, and because they're easier to pop when your Dart Monkey's on strong. So I definitely think pinks are more deadly. But it looks like Josh is going for some Bloon boosted pink or yellows and forcing Jim to use the battle energy. That was a pretty smart play by Josh, and he's still going for yellows, which I don't get. But it looks like Josh is going to go for a re-rush maybe. But the thing to consider is that Josh only has 2 dart monkeys, so if you sent him some regrow yellows, they'll probably force him to sell a farm, or if he had enough money, build more defense. So Jim could have done that, but no, he does not. And it looks like Josh has the boomerang, so interesting choice here. That's probably his mystery tower, but still, that was a pretty interesting tower to put down. And he's of course getting the glaive ricochet. But right now, if Jim probably went for a really early camo regrow rainbow or regrow zebra rush, he honestly probably would have killed Josh. But Josh is pretty known, or he's pretty good at microing, so that would be a pretty intense thing to watch there. But I think he might be able to kill him with the camo still. But Josh sending a little teaser rush there, making Jim use his battle energy. So he is vulnerable to a re-rush right now, unless he gets up the Operation Dartstorm. So, right now, Josh could probably take some damage to a oh, it looks like he's going for the camo zebras, and Josh is going to have to sell that for the Super Monkey Fan Club. There's no way he's going to be able to survive this. He needs to get the Super Monkey Fan Club, and it looks like they're all leaking. Is Jim going to beat him? No. And he does get up the Super Monkey Fan Club, so nice micro by Josh there. It looks like we're lagging just a little bit, but he does afford the Super Monkey Fan Club in time. So, Jim deciding to go for some more farms instead with Operation Dartstorm, the 0-3 ace upgrade. So, pretty intense game right now. Josh still under life, so he is going to have to rush, and it looks like Josh is able to get the 4-0 farm on round 18, so a little bit late, but it definitely was before his opponent, so that's good. And Jim is still not going for the 0-3 ace. It looks like he's just saving up for the 4-0 farm, which is a smart idea. If Josh does not send him anything, then he'll be able to afford it pretty quickly. So Josh is going to surf some fast cooldown regrow leads, which is extremely deadly against one Juggernaut. So Jim decides to be smart here, and he gets up the 3 or 0-3 ace upgrade, which was a good idea. So Jim's going to be no lives lost against this fast cooldown lead rush, and looks like Josh is going for some more zebras, and Jim going ahead and getting the 4-0 farm on round 20. So Josh is definitely ahead in farm eco, but he is also below in lives. So Josh going for some quick mob right here. Let's see if this will do any damage. And it looks like Josh or Jim was easily able to take that down. But on Josh's screen, the Bloons are getting pretty far, but the glaive ricochet is taking them down pretty easily. So he probably should get up another glaive ricochet. And yes, it looks like he's going to get up a second glaive ricochet. And Jim now finally getting up his second farm. And let's see what Jim's going to do here. Pretty equal in defense-wise. I think Jim has more Moa popping power, but Josh has more Bloom popping power. So here you go. Josh going for a quick BFB, and Jim probably going to react by getting a Super Monkey Fan Club. So, yeah, let's see what he does here. Is he going to sell the 0-3 ace? And it does not look like it. He decides to use the battle energy instead, but I think he will have to sell. Oh no, and he decides to sell the farm instead of the 0-3 ace. So, I do not know if that was a smart play or not, but Josh is doing pretty good on his rushes, and he's going for another BFB, so this is going to force Jim to resell and rebuy the Fan Club. And Jim looking like he's just saving up. And there you go, he rebuys the Fan Club, and he's going to be totally fine from this little BFB rush by Josh. So right now, Josh's income is 0, obviously, and Jim is still at 293. So right now Jim has the upper hand just by a little bit in income, but that doesn't really matter much, so it's still anyone's game. And like I said earlier, this is the most important game out of their series. So Josh, surprisingly, actually Jim gets up the 4-0 farm before Josh does. So that is good in Jim's part, but it looks like Josh is now getting back ahead by getting up the next farm, and Jim has to use the battle energy because his ceramics almost leaked by, but he was able to defend with the battle energy. So yeah, I don't know why Jim is putting his farm up there when he can fit it in the bottom screen. Maybe it's because he is afraid of accidentally surrendering or something like that, which is totally possible. But no, he's deciding to put it back up. So yeah, that's probably why. But anyway, on Josh's screen, the balloons look like they're getting pretty far. But no, those glaive ricochets are just destroying. So still anyone's game. Right now, I think, yes, Josh does have more farm eco. He took back the lead. So yeah, let's see if anyone's gonna go for some rushes anytime soon. So a few mobs are gonna be coming out on this next level, which is going to force Jim to get the Super Monkey Fan Club as well as Josh. So they're both gonna be fine here. No one's gonna lose any lives. And round 28 coming up soon. And now Jim decides to upgrade that 4-0 farm, but it looks like Josh. Oh, there it goes. So for a second there, I thought Josh might be saving up for a rush because he has not built another farm yet, but it looks like he was just lagging a little bit because he did get up that 4th farm. But anyway, it looks like Jim went for the next ace upgrade, and okay, so he does have enough money to get the next 4-0 farm. I thought he did not, but he does. So he's going to be getting up the next 4-2 farm and as well as the second ace. So he did decide to use the battle energy. I think the balloons were getting pretty close to the end. I don't think he needed the battle energy though. But now it is getting closer and closer to round 37, which is the end of the match, and Josh is still going Farmico, so he probably should be saving up by now and using that turbocharge, I guess, just for fun. But it looks like Jim, oh gosh, so Jim almost died there, and he decides to get the ground 0. So he should have sold the ground 0 right now and got that 4-0 farm up, but he decides not to. So that's going to leave Josh in the lead for farm eco. And looks like Jim's going to have to get the ace or the ground 0 back up, or he's going to die right here. And Jim gets that up just in time, down to 21 life. So now Jim has to rush. And it looks like he's going to die right here. Is he going to die? And yes. So Jim ends up dying right there. That was an extremely good series, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure to look out for the next video.